So, I'm jacking a trailer. Can't you tell? Let me get this done and I'll explain to you what I'm doing. Okay, so brought this to town to get diesel because I need diesel. But it's beautiful right now. Today's gonna be really hot, 90, maybe 93 is what they said. Yesterday was pretty warm. We were out of town, went to the Mavs game I told you. Mavs win, that was a really good game. Boys had a blast. It was cool. But while I was gone, Dad did some spraying for me. He did a lot, and I really appreciate that. And so last night we got back, I went and sprayed as much as I could. I finished one of the fields, so all we have is partial of one more field for the fallow ground, and it's pretty muddy still. So I was gonna go get diesel and do all that this morning, but it's so nice, the wind is down. I'm gonna go spray as much as I can. I got about 40 acres left in that tank from last night. I'll get it emptied, and then I'm probably just gonna have to turn around. There's some muddy spots in that field, but I want to do that because the wind's supposed to pick up this today, and then especially tomorrow and the next day. So I'm really close. Maybe I can get it done today if the wind will kind of cooperate, but I'll get close at least. And so I'm gonna drop the diesel trailer here, go do all that, and then I'll come back and I'll get some diesel at lunchtime. Well, I couldn't film just then because I got into some mud. Wasn't bad, but also I was right next to a neighbor that had some wheat, and I needed to keep the boom really, really low, you know, because I didn't want to kill his wheat, just like I don't want to kill my wheat. So that's why I'm coming out here to check this nozzle. See this nozzle here? You've seen this before. That nozzle would kill this wheat. I don't want that. So I'm gonna cap that one. And yeah, I may have a little bit of a gap here, but I can come back with something else. With a four-wheeler or something, but this end of the field's really weedy. I don't know who's farming this spot right here. So anyways, yeah, the wind is still cooperating. It's a little bit, it's blowing away from this wheat, so I should be good. But still, I don't want to overspray that much. I'm just kind of rambling this morning. It's a Monday morning. It's good. So you remember when we were skiing and we had a tornado and there was hail around? Well, it hailed really bad in Sagerton, which is there. Generally there, and then the barn is there. So we didn't have any damage on the stuff there, but a farmer that farms just right over here showed me a picture of this field, and it was covered in white. And so you've seen this before, all those little indentions. I mean, those are all like hail impacts. So they're everywhere. So yeah, I hadn't noticed it on that end. So we got lucky, I think, that cloud just went just to the south of the barn and didn't get any of our equipment, because, I mean, some of that's big. That's a big hailstone. So thankful that not having to fix a bunch of stuff on the tractors. Forgive my low limit alarm. It's kind of loud, finicky. It wasn't working earlier while I was out of town. Dad was spraying. It's just loud. There we go. For now. Anyways, I'm spraying up next to the wheat. The wind is blowing. My goodness. The wind is blowing towards the wheat. So I don't have that last section of that boom turned on, just so I don't get any more drift on that. I'll have to just come back and do that when the wind's out a different direction. I'm going to turn it off because that's super annoying. Much better. That noise was real annoying. It was going off. It doesn't go off normally, like now we're good. The issue was I had one section turned off. I had the RPMs turned down low, and so it was just barely holding pressure. And so when we start to get off of our rate, then that low limit alarm comes on to tell us that we're about to do that, and that it was compensating to keep me at the right rate. And it was struggling to do that, and so hence the alarm. We can turn the sensitivity down a little bit. Excuse me, but like I said, when I was gone, Dad, it wasn't working. last year we kind of figured out that we could do that, where we could slow way down and not have to. Normally we'd change this into manual, and that would help us keep our rate where we wanted it, and then just have to flip back into rate 1. But with that low limit alarm, you throttle back, it just adjusts for you. But that alarm will go off telling you, hey, I can't keep this at the right rate at this speed, so it was over applying. Well, it was doing that just then. It normally doesn't do that. So anyways, I found a little bit of mud, more mud. It looked good, and I was watching where I was, and then all of a sudden the sun I couldn't see, and it was black. I didn't rut it up too bad. We will drive on those same tracks all year. But I made them well defined right through those spots. Some more black spots here in the middle than I thought, so may have to turn around if I get into another spot like what I was just in. Got the spraying done, all but about one little corner of this one field, and then where I was just at, some spots there in the middle. So maybe 5 acres total, maybe. And I just need that to dry out. And then I also need to spray around all the equipment and this little patch right here. But it's a little windy for that, and I've got to move all this stuff. So it's almost lunchtime, but I'm going to move the stripper and maybe the tractor. Those are easy. I need to unhook this tractor. I don't know, maybe I'll do that too. But once I get all that moved, I'll just have to wait for the wind. I guess once I get all that moved, I'll just have to wait for the wind to die down enough, because I don't want this to blow. I don't know if there's much grass coming up yet in Grandma's yard, but that way, since it's blowing directly at her house, I'll just do that when the wind dies down. So maybe later this afternoon or this evening. So, man, it feels good to get something mostly done and accomplished. Now I need to. Well, after I move this, or this afternoon, I'm going to come back. I'm going to hook up the 8260 to the scraper. We have lots of gullies to fix. And then transition the sprayer to spraying the wheat, which I don't know if that'll happen this week with the wind just being so strong most of the week. And there's a slight chance of some rain on Thursday. I don't know, like 20%. So we'll find it. We'll just I'll just do what I can do. Done. Out of the way. Now I can spray that. When? Maybe today. Alright, I'm going for lunch. I told you it was going to be windy, so I need to get my spraying done. It's windy. I'm glad I got my spraying done. So, it's just kind of miserable in general. I got some diesel. I'm going to fill up the tractors with diesel because I'll need more diesel in this tractor for spraying the wheat. And I'll need more diesel in the 260 for fixing lots of gullies. And more. I don't know. It's going to take a lot to do all that. So, time to load up. Going, I'm going to hook up the blade to this tractor because that's what we're going to do next. And one thing I got to remember to do is this depth control stop thingamajig that you got to plug it in and unplug it when the tractor's off, or it will not work. So do everything here from the outside before I hook it up, or before I turn it on, and then I'll pull that out and grease everything. Guess while I'm here, I'm gonna go ahead and take this pin out and disconnect the PTO so I can unhook this tractor. Tell you that it's windy today and hot. It's both those things. All right, I mostly got my life together here. Got the shredder tractor unhooked. See, there's the shredder. I'm hooked up here except for the main component that actually need to be hooked up so I can pull it, but I haven't started the tractor yet because I'm going to grease everything. I got to grease all the points, and then I'm going to spray some lubricant on these cylinders to try to lubricate and clean off any junk that's on there, and then I'll hook up to it. Everything should be good. both of these cylinders, real big, were repaired not long ago because they were leaking. Stuff just gets old sitting out in the sun. So we try to lubricate this dust seal as best we can. Keep it pliable so that when this is coming in and out, it does what it's supposed to do, which is stop dust from getting inside of there and then messing up other O-rings and seals. So just try to lubricate that a little bit and then just clean around these shafts so they're clean. Oh, my spray bottle's a little bit sticky. So just cleaning. Most of these rods here are in the barrel, so most of that's not exposed. I'm hooked up. Okay, so what I should see now is all of these are in float. One is the one that has the control, and so I didn't do a very good job probably of explaining that earlier, but basically it makes it where if you click it, it'll set it to a constant depth. It's like something you could have on a chisel plow like we had over there, and so Dad made it work over here, so where you click, it sets to a predetermined stop, and then click up, it'll bring it up to a predetermined stop, so that way you don't have to always be feathering it with your finger. Because sometimes like just a small movement of this blade makes a huge difference in how much dirt and how you're gouging and the load on the tractor. So it's good to kind of have a consistent depth. So what I think should happen here is when I turn it on, it goes into auto like that. That's good. 2 and 3 should not, because they don't have that deal. So yeah, so 1 is in this auto, and as long as you keep it in that range, it will as long as you keep it in, you don't go too high, then it will stay in this auto. Otherwise it'll go off and you have to turn the tractor off to re-engage the auto drop. So if I click it, it goes down, and it goes down to the predetermined number. And if I click it up, it brings it up to the predetermined number. What is that number? It's just arbitrary. So I can go up a little higher than that and it won't mess it up, but if I go too high, it'll drop out of auto. So, but you got to do that when the tractor's off, or else it does not recognize that. So, all good. Tractor's greased, blade is greased. I'll just need to check the air on the tires, but otherwise this blade should be ready to go as long as the hydraulics all check out, which so far so good, and we can get some field work. What's the right word? We can get all our water issues hopefully better, not fixed but better. All checks out, hydraulics are good, everything's worked. I set it up right, it's good. So time for me to go. Got to end the video here. I've got to go to well, here's what it is. It's a script pickup, and so our community, Sagerton, reenacts for over 50 years now the Hee Haw. So if you know from old time, there was a kind of a comedy sketch show called Hee Haw. Well, Sagerton for 50 years has done something like that, and it's actually, I don't know if you say famous, but people come every year. I've actually Emily and I got asked to help with doing tickets. They go on sale this coming Saturday. For us, that would be March 2nd. And the show is the end of March 21st, I think, is the first. We do it for 3 nights. Dad's always done it, and so when I moved back, The first year the guy didn't ask me, but I've been asked. So this would be my second year doing it. It's silly, it's funny, and so check it out. Come to Sagerton, get some tickets. But on the ticket deal, Emily and I had no idea. We just thought, oh, we'll come up. They go on sale at 8 on Saturday. We'll just come get tickets. But the lady said, no, people line up at like 5:30 a.m. for these tickets. You can only get 10 at a time because it's the old schoolhouse in Sagerton where my grandma went to school, and there's an auditorium, and it just fills up. And so people have to stand in line, and they get 10 tickets at a time. They get back in line, and then get 10 more because big groups come from really pretty far away. So anyways, going to pick up our scripts. We got a kind of a first preliminary practice tonight. But check it out, Sagerton Hee Haw. Come March 21st, 22nd, 23rd. I think that's right. Hopefully you'll see this before then. But anyways, I got to go to that. Thanks for watching. If you're going to farm it.